Yep, that's the tier list. Thanks for watching. No, I'm just kidding. Get back here. If you look at this tier list carefully and know anything about the roster, I'm sure you have a lot of questions and opinions. Trust me, I get it. So I'd recommend sticking around and seeing my thought process and decision making for the entire cast to see exactly how everyone got to where they were. First, it's obviously important to clarify what this tier list even is. I decided to rank the Final Smashes in terms of practicality, specifically with Final Smash meter tournaments in mind, as I found that to be the most interesting option I could have gone with. What this means is they're ranked in the context of 1v1s on competitive stages. The rankings are not viewing the Final Smashes in a vacuum, but rather with the character's toolkit, but does not take into account base competitive viability or very specific matchup knowledge. For example, Ganondorf is, you know, but we're looking at just his Final Smash stats here. Speaking of stats, while going through the entire cast, I jotted down information about their KO power and combo potential, and kept them in a document which I have linked below. There's more information written on there, but the basic gist was that I tested on a Mario CPU with no DI from the center of the stage whenever possible, just to keep things consistent throughout the entire cast. And I used the Smash Ball just because this makes testing way more efficient. I tried to keep in mind the decrease in damage and knockback from the Smash meter version when ranking the final tier list, but having this reference in mind is still really helpful. So you can read through it if you're ever curious, but just know if I ever say something is really strong or really weak, that's kinda where I'm coming from. And while I'll be repeating this throughout the video, a big deal for me in making this tier list that I haven't really seen a lot of people consider is that we're not just looking at Final Smashes as if they're used randomly. For example, if any of these Star Fox characters use their Final Smash in neutral, you can react to the use and then dodge with ease. But why are you, in a competitive environment, using your Final Smash randomly in neutral when the opponent is just sitting there waiting, right? In reality, you're either going to be reacting to the opponent using unsafe options, or you're going to be trying to combo into it with stray hits or grabs or anything like that. This mindset of trying to find consistent ways to land Final Smashes permeates a lot of this video, though you'll see more of the specifics as we get there. And just as a final note, I do want to clarify that I am no expert on every single character in the game. I did my best doing a lot of research and gathering a lot of opinions, but there's only so much I can know when Smash meters aren't run in a competitive environment as much. There are a lot of things on this tier list that I am totally willing to swap around and change up if I see more examples of how effective it actually is in a match. That being said, results also don't always mean everything if the people playing aren't very familiar with the best ways to use or avoid Final Smashes, so there is an important grain of salt to be had, but I just want to make sure everyone is aware that I'm by no means trying to say that this is the final Smash tier list, more like a base that we can work around going forward. So yeah, I streamed myself going through this process for 2 days, so this video will be a very condensed highlight reel of all that. As you can imagine, I changed my mind throughout the streams quite a bit. So you're gonna hear me come to conclusions in some parts that I then change my mind on in later parts, which I will be signifying with this mysterious soundbite. So I definitely recommend watching until the end if you have any comments on certain sections early on. Though there are smaller bits here or there that I'm cutting out to prevent the video from being over 5 hours long. So if you want to see the full extent of everything I discussed regarding this topic, you can just watch the VODs, which I've linked down below. Plus, there are a few small changes I'll be making at the very end of the video that weren't from the streams, just that I felt I should do after having reviewed all the footage and, changed my mind a little bit in some areas. And with that, I hope you enjoy. When you see Mario's Final Smash, it'll be something like this, right? Something like that, it's like, wow. Oh, that sucks, I hate Mario. Yeah, exactly, that's a 0%. But here's the thing, you see this Final Smash, right? And you go, wow, that covers a lot of ground. Surely it's meant to be a long-range Final Smash, right? You're supposed to use it from far away and cover a lot of space. But here's the thing, if I were, let's pretend I'm Fox right now. If I were to use Fox's Final Smash right here, it would completely miss, obviously. And that would suck, 0% is way less than however much percent I get here. So, obviously, as a Fox, I would not use my Final Smash right here, I would use my Final Smash right here, right? And I think a lot of people sort of neglect that, not just for Mario, but for a lot of characters, that Final Smashes aren't always just something that you should use from all the way over here really far. Sometimes a Final Smash is something you're going to have to combo into, or do a mix-up into, right? So let's say, obviously we're going to need to raise the percent a little bit here. Basically no character KOs at 0%, right? So here, I'm going to use the move right here, right? And I'm going to try and SDI upwards or anywhere I can. Use it, And I'm gonna try an SDI, get out of here if I can. I barely get out, sure. But want to see something funny that can like help out a little bit more? Let's say I do this. That's a true combo right there. That's a true combo, and I'm dead. This is why it's important to try and factor in a character's toolkit. You can just down throw someone, even like this changed the percent even higher, you know? Mario can just down throw someone. I was inputting air dodge there, and the air dodge didn't come out because it's a true combo, and I was spamming SDI, DI, all that, and we're gone. Yeah. Let's try it again. You know, like, oh, let's say like, well, maybe they're being wary of grabs, right? Okay, falling nair. And you can imagine that just combos into it. I don't even need to do it. You know that combos into it because this Final Smash comes out quickly and it has a pretty good initial hitbox. I'm SDIing, I'm DIing, I'm doing everything I should be, and it's still KOing. We already have a Final Smash that has a really easy combo. If I go to the percent range that you'd see from more Final Smashes and do something similar. Easy. You know, I don't need the nair or the grab. I'm just doing that because I can, right? But yeah, KOs, 30%. If you consider Mario's Final Smash to be akin to a cutscene Final Smash, where you need to be in an activation range before use, therefore you need to try and combo into it, his Final Smash is suddenly really powerful. Like, that is not an early, or not a late percent to get a KO. And then the best thing, right? For higher percent ranges. Now let's say I'm 80. I think combos, like, you know, obviously I can do a falling nair, it still works, right? I don't even need to do that anymore. You get that. Now it's like, see, like when you have higher percent, the hits of the Final Smash combo into each other a lot better. So this covers all percents, you know? If you're at lower percent, then you can combo into it with very easy ways, you know, falling aerials, down throw, all that stuff, that's perfectly fine. Or once you get to higher percent, then you can just use it normally and it covers a lot of space and it gets KOs that way. So I think while a lot of people consider this Final Smash to be really low tier, looking at the entire cast, this is B tier, right? This is what you'd want from a Final Smash. You know, good range and viability. You'd want to combo into it, but it covers a lot of things and it is good. So basically, each tier is like pretty close to the one next to it, right? So a B tier Final Smash isn't that much worse than an A tier Final Smash. A lot of Final Smashes are good, okay? A lot of Final Smashes are viable to some capacity. You know, if you use the Final Smash in the right way, you can probably get a good KO. If you use the Final Smash in a perfect way, you can probably KO at 0%. I think every character has something like that. But, you know, I didn't want to just lump them all into one category, so, you know, B tier is like what you'd expect from a Final Smash, something that you'd want, you know? It has good coverage, good range, and it's awesome. As we'll get through this whole process, you're gonna see why Mario is actually a B tier Final Smash, right? Let's do the same test. I think one thing I found out for Dr. Mario is that down throw, it gets sent a little bit higher up, right? So it doesn't combo in as well, but luckily forward throw works just fine. I can't mash out of that. I can't DI, and I'm dead. Cool. All right, Dr. Mario is the same case. I think if I had to choose a better one, I think maybe Mario, because I think Mario just has better combo versatility overall, but it's, you know, it's not really a difference. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Okay, who's next? Donkey Kong. Oh, I like Donkey Kong. It's Final Smash where the activation range is kind of small. Not that small, but, you know, smaller than others. And it is strong. That's 75% almost. Cargo up throw, huh? So, like, do you jump or do you just do that? Alright, so, you know. Wow, that actually hits from there. I was holding air dodge too, so yeah. That's a cool combo, right? But I need to make sure it actually works at more percents. Because let's say you're Donkey Kong, you get your Final Smash, and, you know, the opponent is not at 0%. Well, then the combo might not work. I'm gonna try a double jump here. Oh, that works too. I was buffering air dodge there, and that still works. The fact that, okay, whoa. Hold on. Yeah, and down tilt would obviously work too, right? Oh yeah, okay, so I think once you get past like the 50% range, you can't combo into this anymore with grab, right? Honestly, I'll say this is a lot better than I was expecting because of that, though. And yes, grab release, that's not real. I will mention this in the later part. It is not real for all attacks. Because, like, if they do that, right, I'm pretty sure that's real for the entire cast. If you do a grab release and, you know, they land out of the grab release like that, okay, I'm going to be spamming air dodge or whatever, right, or dodge. I think if you buffered it perfectly, you might be able to get spot dodge, but the spot dodge might be so slow that you can barely do it, right? But here's the thing. If you mash with jump, it's not gonna work anymore, right? So don't worry about that. Donkey Kong has a lot. Has a lot going on. You can bury them too. Yeah, donk. If you do that, well, congratulations, you just won, right? I didn't even know that he had that. So yeah, that's why is it hit from there? That's so dumb. Almost every single character in the game has a way to combo into their cutscene Final Smash, I'll say that. However, I don't know, now that I think about it, oh, that cargo throw combo is super cool. Yeah, 0 to 40, and then you have other moves. Because like, I don't know, once you get past that 0 to 40, he doesn't have any throw combos at all, right? He has side B and he has landing aerials, but a lot of characters have landing aerials and that type of thing that can lead into their combo, to their Final Smash as well. I feel he's guaranteed A tier, right? He has to be A tier for sure, but whether or not he gets to S tier, it's hard to say. I'm gonna leave him A tier for now, and if I look back and decide that that cargo throw thing is just too insane, I'll put it in S tier, okay? So, Link's Final Smash is pretty cool. It's got pretty good KO power and whatnot, but I found that he doesn't actually have that many combos into it, right? Let's do that. Buffer air dodge, that didn't work. That's a decent low percent combo, right? Yes, anyone with this type of nair, they can basically guarantee their Final Smash, right? That is just a thing. Let me try down throw though. What does down throw look like again? Yeah, like that, okay. No, you see, this Final Smash is surprisingly skinny. I don't think, let me see. You can probably DI forward throw upwards and that'll make it not work anymore, yeah. So forward throw is very inconsistent as well. We need to remember DI is a thing for these throws, right? We need to remember that. The Final Smash is like strong, right? But it's extremely skinny of a hitbox, which makes it hard to actually like consistently land. You could obviously just use projectiles and not be terrible at the game like me, and that'll work out, but it's strong, but not that much stronger than others, you know, given the fact that it's hard to land. Here's the thing about F-throw being able to be extended. Let's say I DI up and hit that. Cool, that's awesome. You know, you covered their DI upwards and stuff. But then let's DI downwards. Now me trying to jump and cover it didn't work. You'd have to react for sure, and I think that reaction could make it, you know, a little bit harder. So yeah, basically it becomes a mix-up, and that is not the greatest. You're gonna notice that for a few other characters, especially one that I get told about a lot, but yeah. So Link doesn't have too many combos specifically into it. He has a lot of ways to make it easier to land, so it's definitely not bad, but I think I'm gonna have to, until I learn more specific and consistent ways to land it, I'm gonna put it in C tier just because it's really easy to miss. Super easy to miss, less consistent. And that's another way to show off what C tier is like. C tier Final Smashes are still good, right? These are still good Final Smashes. They have potential to do good things, but alright, who's next? Samus, right? I'm not even gonna like bring up Dark Samus here. You can just know that it's the same, right? So yeah, these are your Samus, down throw. Yeah, you could air dodge a little bit, but you just get pulled in. And oops, oh, you died. Here. Yeah, see, because like the activation hitbox has like a sort of gravity effect. Not only does Samus have combos into the Final Smash, like that's a thing, right? I could air dodge, I could jump, but it's so big that it doesn't really matter what I do. That's not a true combo, right? So yeah, I still think that this is really good though. It has good combos, potential. Like, sure, you can air dodge, but then yeah, cool, you grab ledge, you're dead. I don't want to linger too long on these Final Smashes. I'm gonna put them in A tier. It covers a lot of options. Not only does it have good combos and KO power, but you know, you don't even need the KO, or you don't even need a combo or anything. It has great ledge coverage, and yeah, you can aim it. Okay, here's Yoshi's. If you look at the document, you'll see this is kind of a weird one. I noticed that Yoshi's Final Smash had inconsistent knockback type. I'm gonna see if I can try and get it to happen here. I'm gonna try and use the Final Smash from the same spot. You stepped on Skadoosh. That was powerful. You got sent horizontally pretty far, right? Because I thought it was weird. Yeah, right there. The knockback was entirely different. I'm not holding anything on either controller when I do this. My positioning was the exact same. Obviously, I don't think that really matters. It's still pretty decent, you know. I think it's a good Final Smash because, like, you know, for one, it's a cutscene Final Smash. Those tend to be good. You know, you can do that kind of thing, landing there, and then boom, you got that combo as well. It goes pretty far. I guess forward throw. Yeah, that was actually a surprisingly large hitbox. I guess forward throw is a thing. Yeah, it's a good combo throw. He's got landing aerials. This is another example of a Final Smash that's just solid, you know? A Final Smash that just does what it wants to do. This is why I think a lot of Final Smashes are going to be in B tier, but that's why, you know, you have a lot of ways to combo into the Final Smash. It has pretty good range and it has pretty good KO power. It's going to be B tier, right? Yoshi has a lot of falling aerials that you can use into the Final Smash and like semi-consistent throw that also works. So yeah. Okay, here's what I like about Kirby. Alright, hold on. Alright. That works. Guaranteed combo. It's probably not gonna KO, right? But you know, it's a pretty easy combo. And you go all the way up here. Forward throw is just so good. Forward throw basically guarantees the combo, right? There's nothing, it's just the activation hitbox is really big and fast. Forward throw has such consistent, you know, knockback range and stuff. You're gonna get a combo in here. See, like he got sent all the way up there and it still works because yoink. The KO power is a little bit lower than other Final Smashes. Even if you don't get a grab hitbox, you can, you know, trip or do whatever that. You can do down air and that works too, very easily even. It's, yeah, it's almost hard not to get this Final Smash to land and it's strong enough. Yeah, easy A tier. Okay, so you'll see here, I have all three of the Star Fox characters together. Obviously, they're all cutscene Final Smashes, right? So I'll pick Fox for now. So you'd think that all of these Star Fox characters would have basically the same Final Smash, right? Yeah, you hit him from over here even. Whoa, and then there's a cutscene. Yo, isn't that crazy? Isn't that so cool? Boom. Awesome. Well, the Final Smashes vary in a few ways that I think are important. I feel like I don't even need to say that there's combo potential here, right? Yoink. Forward throw works for lower percents. It's once you get to mid percents, it doesn't work as well. But these characters have all of them have combos, right? Yeah, down throw for Falco works super easily. Time for a little payback. And they get sent upwards. See, that's a pretty big difference, right? It kind of balances out though. Like, you know, like Fox can have easier KOs here, but yeah, I agree. I think Falco's synergy is a lot better. I don't know though, you could also say that about Fox because like Fox likes to go running back and forth, so he could like, you know, he could easily get you to the ledge or something and get a combo there, which is also important. But here's, you know, Wolf's, right? I'm just gonna say it, you can look at the stats document, whatever. Wolf's is just stronger than all the other ones, like in general. Boom, see? It's just stronger. It deals more damage, it KOs earlier. It's not by like a huge margin, but it does. And I think his combo potential is a little bit better. It's just, down throw works. Down throw just works until like, you know, 70% or so, right? I think for Falco and Fox, it's a little bit less consistent. You know, it's still consistent enough, and all of these characters have combos, right? They're very combo-oriented characters. It's so easy to get these Final Smashes, but having a more consistent grab and a stronger Final Smash, this is where we get into the difficulties of actually ranking these things, because like, is Wolf going to be a tier higher or no, right? Because if these aren't necessarily equally as good of Final Smashes, in my mind, I feel like Wolf is the better of the three. I just don't know if it's a tier difference worth of being better, right? I think for now, I'll put them all in A tier and put Wolf much higher up. One thing I noticed about Pikachu's is that there's actually a lot of startup to it, right? Yeah, I don't really, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like this Final Smash. Because like, you have like this startup, right? It has a really good range, it goes all the way that far, but it takes a little bit of time for it to get there. So let me see, let me try and get a combo or something, right? It takes so long to actually get started that like, you can just air dodge even after like a normal combo area, right? If you get it, if you see. Okay, wait, I didn't. Okay. How did I air dodge through that one? That sucks. I'm gonna save you guys the headache of me going through every single move. I just noticed that, like, it's good when you land it, right? It's a strong final smash, and you know you have ways to combo into it. I don't know how to do this combos because I suck at the game and everything I do, but okay. So basically, there are combos. It's the cutscene final smash-esque. It can't really be too bad, right? It's strong. You know, like there's ways to hit it and stuff. I'm gonna keep them C. That's the thing that's the conclusion I came to. C tier. You know, you can land it, you can combo kind of into it. It's strong, but it's just not very consistent. So, oh yeah, again, Pichu's Final Smash version is technically a little stronger, but you also deal self damage, and the difference isn't that high. So I think it's a little bit worse technically. But Pichu has his own combo kit. Yada yada. You don't need me to explain that. So I kind of like Luigi's Final Smash. This is another one of those combo or Final Smashes where even if you don't have true combos, you can, you know, still land the attack because of how extremely big the hitbox is, right? Like, the thing is, the knockback isn't as high as you'd expect, though, right? The knockback is actually a little bit lower. But then you think, right, what? A down throw. Whoa. Luigi, the character who already has down throw to kill combos, has more down throw to kill combos. Yeah, so like this one has just a lot of coverage. It's hard for me to say that it's bad, right? Its KO power is not what you'd expect from other similar Final Smashes, but that's just like how they balance it with the fact that it's so big. At this percent, let me see. You can air dodge it, but one of the things, I was able to avoid it there. Obviously you can avoid it. It's not like impenetrable. He's probably in B tier, but I would think that he's the higher end of B tier in my opinion. This sucks. There, I was gonna do that. Okay, so now we're getting to the PK kids. There's actually a difference between these two, right? Did. Alright, let's see how this level 9 CPU reacts to PK Starstorm. Oh, you got hit. Okay, one thing I've noticed is that CPUs, they don't even try and air dodge Final Smashes. They are so stupid. If you don't know the difference between these Final Smashes, Ness's is technically stronger, and the stars are technically bigger. And for either of them, you can sort of change where they go, right? But Ness's always comes out of the center of the stage, like right here. And Lucas's Final Smash is different. The stars are smaller and weaker, but you can control where they fall from, which makes us a lot better at edge guarding, right? Can you imagine trying to recover against that? I wish it didn't go diagonal against my wishes, though. I wish it could just go like straight down, because that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, no, being able to change exactly where you use where the stars come from, in my opinion at least, it makes Lucas's at least a little bit more versatile, a little bit better. But still, you know, like you'd have to be already off stage for that to work. And wanna know the funny thing? Lucas's edge guarding is already insanely good, crazy good edge guarding. You don't really need an entire Final Smash to edge guard an opponent, right? You really don't need an entire Final Smash to do what I just did right there. I do still think Lucas's Final Smash is better than Ness's, but I don't think it changes its tier at all because you can just dodge it. These Final Smashes are so easy to dodge and they're not very strong. I think these are what are going to be the first D tier contenders, with Lucas's being better, but still D tier. Okay, so we're all in agreement that Ness is D tier, right? Ness is just, their stars are big, but they're so easy to dodge. And like when you say it KOs at 0, any Final Smash KOs at 0 if you have the perfect scenario. Trust me, every single Final Smash in the game has a scenario where it can KO at 0%. It doesn't really mean anything. Because I'm obviously willing to learn more. I don't know everything about these characters, but use it in the middle. Lucas's Final Smash in the middle? But then it's just worse than Ness's. Okay, let me just see. So yeah, now I'm on the other side. Oops. Wait, let me bring it back over here. Oh no, I can't do that. Oh no. See? Trust me. I'm gonna need to actually see results first. Whatever. We're moving on. I'm willing to change that if I get proven. Okay, it's not one of the best Final Smashes in the game. That I can guarantee you. It's. All right. So next up, Captain Falcon. It's another one. Very easy KO power. Guess what? guess what? Down throw them. Well, they get hit. They die. Basically, if a character already has a good combo throw and their final smash is fast enough, the throw will combo into the final smash as well. It's an easy A tier. And honestly, I didn't really go into it enough in the stream, but obviously Captain Falcon has way more than just his down throw, right? Captain Falcon is known for having so many combo routes that fit perfectly well with his character, and all of them just happen to fit well with his final smash too. So that's kind of why he was put in A tier. He's just super solid, and his final smash is strong enough anyways, so it's pretty easy. Jigglypuff. Everyone already knows. Everyone already knows that this is an F tier, right? Okay, well, I just think it's so funny. I'm gonna use it like right here, cover as much of the stage as I can. Whoa! I basically asked to get hit by that. Because here's the thing, right? It has use. It has use. Let me put it to like stop so he tries to recover at least. Yep, that's a good edge guard, right? Like I said with Lucas, do you know how much of the cast can edge guard with their final smash? It's really not that hard. Basically, the entire cast can edge guard with their final smash. Like right there, that is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But then like there's another inconsistency, right? If a character has a good recovery, that doesn't matter. What just happened there doesn't matter. So yeah, I just kind of want this to be an example. Every final smash in this game, every single one has a use case for it to be somewhat effective, right? But we still need to rank them, you know? We still need to put them up against each other, and yeah, there's got to be an F tier. I think Puff deserves to be an F tier. And this is another thing I didn't really explain very well in the stream, but the thing is with Puff is that even if you do manage to like hit the attack, get the opponent in a position where they can be hit by it, the two hits don't actually combo into each other, and the first hit has set knockback. So what this basically means is if the opponent gets hit by the first one, they can pretty easily dodge the second one, and again, it's not very useful. Okay, so let's get to Peach and Daisy. You can't avoid this. If Peach is like on the half of the stage that you're on, you get hit with it. You don't need combos of this like this, right? I think some people have been thinking that I value combos too much. I don't always do that, you know? Like if a final smash can be used from a far enough distance and it works, then yeah. Let's say you get him off stage at all, in any context. No matter who the character is, they die at 0%. If you grab the ledge, here, let me do that. Grab the ledge, use it. The invincibility only lasts so long, and the final smash is a lot longer. You really can't dodge it entirely, and also you get a free 60 HP of healing, right? Okay, yeah, if you're far away when the final smash lands, you can kind of mash and get out, maybe heal yourself, you know, but... Okay, I'm not good enough at turnip combos to be trying to do that. I have not practiced that one little bit. This is a super good final smash. I think it's at least an A tier final smash for me personally, just because of how overwhelmingly easy it is to use. KOing at like 35% is somewhat weak compared to other final smashes we've seen, but it is so guaranteed. There's really not a way to mix this up, so I think, yeah, I think we're gonna get our first S tiers right here. Yeah, S tier if you pull out a bomb, that's so true. Yeah, I think this is S tier. Obviously Daisy's is the same, I don't need to say that. You're smart, you already know. This one I am half and half on, right? This is what I call a skill check, right? Obviously no combos, no ways to guarantee this happens. You just use it whenever you get it, and then hope you hit it. Because the thing, it comes out fast, bam! You can't react to that when he actually uses it. You have to like, you know, just hit it. And it has good KO power. Yeah. It's technically possible, but let me see what the range is like at least, you know? Let me see what the amount of time. Because it's not like the final smash lasts forever. Oh, it lasts a while though. The timer being finite is unfortunate, but you also can just use the final smash anywhere, which is its own bonus. It's got good range. Like if they do anything a little bit funny, you can react to that and hit them, right? Okay, well, okay, you guys want to see a funny tech? You guys want to see a funny tech here? So if you're up against a Bowser and you're below 50% and you're like worried about not being able to dodge it, go to the center of the stage and just crouch. Believe it or not, that should increase your viability by quite a bit, or your survivability. 60 is when And like you have to admit, 50% is kind of weak, even if it's you know, it can be used anywhere because like, boom. Oh, I'm trying to recover with one hand. Okay, that doesn't work. But yeah, you survived at 50% from center stage. While I'm thinking about this, I'm gonna move on to pit. These aren't the only Final Smashes where you go into the background and you have like a cursor or whatever on the screen, whatever. But these are the only Final Smashes that are basically just Dragoon, right? Pits has a much smaller hitbox, considerably smaller actually. Oh my god, I got the phantom hit. That's insane. Okay, so yeah, no, Pit's Final Smash, I feel like it's a lot harder to land because of how small the hitbox is, right? But it's also just a lot stronger. This KO's way earlier than Bowser's, way earlier. I wouldn't necessarily say it's faster. They're both really quick once you like decide to land the hit, right? But make it a level 9 CPU. Let's see how the CPU reacts to this. Yeah, so like, the range isn't bad. I just feel like it's gonna be a little bit harder to hit, but Bowser's easier to hit, less KO power by a pretty considerable amount. Pit's is harder to hit, kind of, but still not too hard and way more damage. You know, let's say you're at above 50%, right? If you're above 50%, which could happen a lot of the time, Bowser's is just kind of straight up better because his is probably gonna have an easy time KOing anyways, and then you can just hit it easier. Whereas Pit, you know, now you're stuck in a position where you have a stronger Final Smash where the strength doesn't matter. Anyone see that Mario just dash dance in front of my cursor? I think I like the consistency of Bowser's a lot more. Yeah, put him in B tier. I think I like Bowser's more because it's more consistent, but yeah. Alright, Ice Climbers. Hope y'all watch my video about Ice Climbers and Smash meters, because yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. You can use it anywhere. It's pretty cool. People remember that you can push the thing, right? It's big, but only if you're like on the other side of the stage when you use it. If I'm on this side of the stage with them, I can't really move it without also having to like be off stage, and that's just a weird position to be in, right? If you run to the other side of the stage and then use it right here, it's a lot easier to push the mountain into them. But then the opponent, you know, the hitbox is just really weak. The opponent can easily just like, being able to act out of it is really good, obviously. And like, you know, you can also do that too. Okay, yeah, let me see what the hitbox are. Oh my god, what are with the sirens? Do they know? Yeah, the Condor is actually somehow weaker than the normal hit. That's crazy. This one's either D tier or C tier, I think. It's not F tier, I don't think, because like the opponent doesn't need to be off stage for this to work. And if they're at mid to high percents, it can be kind of hard to dodge this whole entire thing, right? But I'm gonna put him in C tier, but towards the bottom, personally. If we were going off of vibes, I think this would be like top 10 or something, which is funny considering it's a cutscene Final Smash. But dude, this is so cool, and I really like that the knockback is behind where you're facing. It's a little bit different, right? But yeah, no, this is it's a strong Final Smash. So like, you know, if you land with a Nair, instantly B tier, right? I'm not really well versed in Sheik combos, so I don't really know what the heck's going on with this character. Like, I imagine if you had, yeah, down tilt could work too. So, you know, Sheik's also a really combo-oriented character. Yeah, landing fair, that works too. Landing Nair, all that stuff. Landing aerials into Final Smash, that's good. I think it's just very similar to all the other B tiers, you know? Strong, decent combos, just not crazy. Is there even any purpose in me like saying anything here? No, let me just, oops. Yeah, I have seen some videos of which characters can avoid Zelda's Final Smash. So let's say like even if you can avoid it, you can just kind of like do that, right? You hit them with anything, get them in a somewhat weird spot. And yeah, I don't know, like, I think it's a little bit overkill to put it in its own tier, but I think it's probably one of the better ones. This is another vibe one where if you know, if we were going off of vibes, this would be high, just because I think insanely powerful Final Smashes like this, that's just so funny, right? It's so strong, but the thing is, it's not very easy to hit. Like, sure, it's super reactable. There are combos into it, right? but not really. That's the thing, right? The activation period is so long that even a lot of things that would be combos aren't really combos anymore, right? If you hit this Final Smash, you take their stock no matter what, no question. So that's why I think these are B tier, right? They're super strong. I think Lucina's is a little bit better than Marth's because I think her more consistent hitboxes could make it a little bit easier to combo into, but yeah, I think this is the range we got. You don't die if you whiff it if you hit B again to cancel the attack, so it's at least safe in that way, but okay. Triforce Slash does not suck. Triforce Slash. That's a true combo. That's a true combo right there. He's just dead. He was at 0%. I grabbed him at 0%, somewhat close to the ledge. And also, guys, remember, Link has this aerial. Link has this aerial right here. This KO's so early. You can't air dodge that because there's an activation hitbox. Down throw works. Whoa. Well, it doesn't matter that it's so small if you just combo into it. Also, it's not even that small. Let's say I land a down throw. Well, there you go. And not just down throw. Look at that. Boom. Bam. Down tilt. Right? Down tilt's insane. And let's say this is the hit that comes back, right? And then they get hit. Boom. They got popped up. If you are good with your projectiles, you can see that coming. So not only do you have like a lot of projectiles to work with, yeah, bomb combos too, you know? Link he just has so many ways to combo into this Final Smash, but I'm gonna put it at the top of A tier for now. If I decide, you wanna just do that, wanna make a tier for like the broken ones like Zelda and them, and then save S tier for extremely strong Final Smashes with great combos. Because if I do that, I'll probably put DK up there as well, right? These are these are like the Final Smashes that you just kind of can't deal with, right? So then that would put these three in S tier. I think that's fair, right? I definitely agree that Wolf's Final Smash is the best of the three, right? I just wonder if the difference is enough to warrant it being an entirely different tier, right? It's about the same strength as these three in its consistency. So maybe I will put this in S tier, put these at A tier. And I think that's fair, actually. Okay, now let's get back to Toon Link here. It's a little bit different. Toon Link's it's a little bit weaker, Toon Link's is, but not by that much. So like, let's say I land with Nair. There's the activation hit. It's got the terrible sound effects, of course, but it's still insanely strong. These are both extremely strong Final Smashes, y'all. Can't really do down throw because it sends you behind, right? Forward throw works a little bit, but like what if I DI upwards, right? Doesn't land. And it's the same thing as all the other examples, you know, you can change up how you DI and makes it a mix up and whatnot. Toon Link still has really good ways to hit this Final Smash, right? He has ways. He has falling aerials, he has tilts, he has projectiles, but he doesn't have a grab or throw. And it's still technically weaker. I feel like if we were comparing this to Young Link's, I think Young Link's has to be better, right? Because, and just with how it works with this toolkit, I just feel like throws, grabs, and stuff are a really valuable, consistent way to get an attack. I just wonder if it's enough to warrant a tier difference, right? This is just another one of those examples where it feels weird to have it at a different tier, but I also think it just, again, goes to show you how close the tiers are in terms of actual strength. Ganon's Final Smash it's just so good. Here's the thing about Ganondorf's Final Smash. You grab them, oh, you're dead. you just down throw them. Ganondorf uses down throws all the time because the activation hitbox is fast and extremely big, super big. This Final Smash is like, if this was on a character that was faster, I don't know though, because like the fact, it's not like it's a super insane Final Smash, it's just with everything Ganondorf has, you do a flame choke. The only thing that this doesn't cover is a tech roll backwards, right? That's so cool. Yeah, no, okay, Ganondorf just has so many combos into this Final Smash. You don't even need the combo, obviously, if you just do that too. It's got like the benefit of being able to be used in a long distance. but it also combos into itself super easily. Alright, yeah, Ganondorf is an S tier, I think. It's everything works with him. It just happens to be that it's on a character that otherwise underperforms, you know? This one's interesting, right? It's kind of a slow hitbox. But it's big. It's a big one. No, okay, not quite. You can't land with a Shadow Ball because the Final Smash takes the special spot, so... But yeah, landing aerials, they all work. Because in my tests, I found that, yeah, down throw does work once you're at past low percents, right? If you're like mid percents or so and you use down throw, yeah, I was buffering air dodge there. I could not act, so that's pretty good actually. No, wow. Yeah, no, I was buffering air dodge, so down throw just works for this Final Smash. Alongside all the other ways to combo into it, right? Let me see. Yeah, so like down air, nair is pretty consistent as well. I mean, it's basically the same as all the other A tiers, right? Here's the thing, Roy's Final Smash, it's weaker than Marth's obviously, but I was spamming air dodge, not spamming, I was buffering air dodge there. It didn't work. I kind of had this at A tier, but I guess I was overestimating just how long the down throw worked. It does not work. I think it'd be B tier with Sheik, yeah. Okay, look at this man. Look at this big boy. Fourth throw does work at lower percents. This one's pretty strong too. It's got pretty decent range. Just another thing, or you know, boom. Jab works as well, right? It's the same case as Roy, right? You have plenty of jab tilts and stuff like that, but the throw combos are limited, and it is. Where's the strength again? Yeah, no, the KO power is basically the same as Roy's. It's really the same. So great. Third. Okay, we're getting to something fun. What do we think about this Final Smash here? Yoink! It's so easy to mash out of this, right? You guys want to see something really funny? You guys want to see something absolutely funny? 0% here. No, you can't tech that hit. I'm pretty sure you can't tech that hit. No, there's not even like a tech bubble thing. You just die. The thing about this Final Smash, if you use it like this and try to get the grab like this, it is not that good, right? It's not very good. However, just like other things we've seen, if you try and like maybe get a combo into it, right? That's not only is that insane damage, but the octopus can sort of combo into itself there, right? Like that, see? If I hit you from below, if I shark you a little bit and then hit you into the tentacle, you can't mash. I saw a clip on Twitter of some guy using Final Smashes, you know, Smash Meter with the Game & Watch, and I saw him do this tech, right? I saw him do this insane tech, like anywhere from around here. If you're facing away from the ledge, it combos into itself and you're dead, right? I feel like there's potential with this character. I feel like there's something going on. I feel like there's some kind of sauce, but I just don't know. That was a combo, wasn't it? Hold on, if I'm a little bit closer to the ledge and I do that, and like I position myself properly, yeah, I've been buffering air dodge that entire time, and I couldn't escape that. I was just blown away. I feel like this is the top of C tier. Anyone down here, maybe there's something, maybe there's some sauce that I missed, right? You know, characters up here, maybe these will start getting lower once everyone else catches up, stuff like that, right? This is the start of an interesting Final Smash where it doesn't actually matter where you land it because it's gonna send you to the same exact spot, right? The activation hitbox is decent, but not that good, and you always get sent to the center and get launched either way horizontally, right? It's pretty good. Meta Knight has combos. Dash attack. No, dash attack combos into it. Down throw, I'm pretty sure that combos into it too. Because it's just such a fast activation, right? You see, at these percents, you can kind of DI it, but it still works from at lower mid percent. Wait, it goes under the stage. Hold on. How tall is it? Whoa, that's a lot taller than I was expecting. It loses 0 to death potential in that it's always consistently going to put you right here. Other Final Smashes, you know, let's say you land them at ledge somehow, you get an early KO, that's pretty cool. This type of Final Smash, it always brings you right here, and that's a little bit less cool, but... dash attack... You just use dash attack and they die. Meta Knight is already known for having a really good dash attack. I'm a big fan of it. It's not like Giga Incredible, but it's consistent and it's good. I like it. Dark Pit's a Final Smash I get told about a lot. When I was bringing up the idea of doing a Final Smash tier list, do you have any idea how many people told me about this? Want to know the thing that I was told about a billion times with Dark Pit? That. Right there. I feel like everyone, I don't know why, I feel like everyone and their mother knows about that combo. Do you want to know the funniest thing about that combo? Do you want to know something that is so funny about that combo? People are always like, oh, it works for all percents, doesn't it? Right, let's get to like 50% or so. Yeah, oh, look at that. That works perfectly well, right? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let me DI up. I just DI'd up. It's a good combo throw. At lower percents, it will work. And but yeah, then it becomes a mix-up. Like I can jump and use it. That works. But then guess what? Now they can just DI down. I think the only reason why people bring this up a lot is because it looks cool. It just looks really cool, right? You know? Dark Pit has plenty of combos. He is not lacking in it. Landing there. Oops, I hit the wrong thing. Boom. You know, like that rant was a little bit negative leaning because I wanted to disprove the idea that back throw guaranteed Final Smash. When in reality, it's just him being good with Final Smashes, like a lot of characters are. But again, a lot of characters are good with their Final Smashes. So I'm gonna put him in A tier. Very easy to land his Final Smash. It's very powerful too, I think. This one is a little bit more interesting though. That one, right? It's like you can SDI this, right? It's super easy to follow SDI. Like, so let me try SDIing like this side. I can just follow it, right? But then what everyone's bringing up here, right? You can air dodge at the end, and that's the thing. You know, it's the final hitbox is big enough to where you can still hit it, right? You can still hit the final hitbox even if you dodge it. So here's what I want to test, right? We've already established that it's pretty easy to get hit into the laser. It's just that it's also easy to dodge the first punch of it, but you still get hit by the other half, the sour spot, yes. I don't know, if you can easily escape it with proper SDI and stuff, I would need to see the video of that happening, because like I don't see how Zero Suit couldn't just follow you when you're SDI, you know? I'm gonna keep it at B tier. I really do think it's good to have that easy damage that you can just do anywhere else. I think it's better than these two, but I don't know. Yeah, you can send it to me on Discord. I'll watch it later. Wario is another one that I found had weirdly inconsistent knockback for his Final Smash. I didn't really keep full track of that at some point, but here's the thing. It's pretty big. It's a pretty big Final Smash. Yoink, that's pretty far. It's not that slow either. Yeah, this is just worse than the other one. It's so unfortunate, dude. This is just so much worse than the other versions, but okay, we're thinking about it. I remember being able to, yeah, if you can do a turnaround Final Smash after down throw, it actually does combo pretty well at like lower to mid %. It's a little bit riskier because it's not the easiest thing to do, but I guess if you're in the competitive sphere, you should be able to get good anyways. You know, falling near, that's the thing. This is kind of like the same idea as all the other A tiers we've had, right? It's, yeah, I guess this would be A tier, wouldn't it? And now we go to Snake. How many missiles you hit depends on how many, like how many you can actually get locked on. If you hit all 5, it's I don't know, it varies. This one varies a lot, I feel like. Yeah, it's pretty easy to dodge. It gets points obviously for being able to activate whenever, and it's not hard to actually lock onto the character, I feel. In some scenarios like that, it can KO at 0% if you get hit by the first missile, or like, you know, anything else works out in his favor, but That's not even that good. I kind of screwed up dodging it, but if you just stay grounded, I don't know. This one's really inconsistent. I feel like there's a lot of counterplay to it. So personally, if you get hit by one missile, like you fail to dodge just one missile, it can pretty easily combo into another and get decent KOs. I feel like it is C tier though, right? I'm willing to put Snake in D tier if in practice it's different from in theory more than I was expecting. I think Snake could easily be either D or B tier depending on how likely the missiles are to hit, but right now I think C tier is fine, you know. Here's the thing about these Final Smashes, right? You hit them anywhere, you get to the same spots, and the actual knockback happens at the center bottom of the stage, right? On Battlefield, there is a platform right here. That automatically makes it stronger on Battlefield. Like if you're on Battlefield and you land a Final Smash, you're KOing like 20% earlier at least, right? Oops. Yeah, the activation is fast and it's actually a lot bigger than you'd think, so that combo's even at mid-percents. And you know, you got your usual landing aerials, right? Like you land with a nair and then you hit it again. Yeah, it is really easy to land this Final Smash, huh? Yeah, your opponent could ban Battlefield, but I'm pretty sure on hazardless Smashville, there's still a platform like in the center here. It's still gonna increase the KO percent. And even without that, this KO is at like 20%, right? That's pretty early still. That's still really early by all other standards. I'm gonna put Ike in A tier for now, I think. Yeah, I think A tier. Okay, so this Final Smash is actually pretty good. Okay, so like the thing is, the KO potential of this Final Smash isn't necessarily that high, but basically anything you can combo into it, right? Because like even if it's not a true combo, you can still combo into it. This is basically just Samus's and Zero Suit Samus's. It's a little bit more limited, but not by that much. And for any character, like if let's just say Charizard has a harder time comboing into it, you just switch to a character that can combo into it. Yeah, no, these characters they have it all, you know. Like there's just so much potential with this. It's so easy to land this Final Smash, and it is actually surprisingly powerful. Up tilt Final Smash. Wait, I was at lower percent. I think this is S tier. It's still really strong. Like the knockback growth is small, but that also means that like if you get to the ledge at 0%, you can actually KO pretty easily. And like you're working with technically so many characters with so much combo potential. I think they're in S tier. Probably bottom S tier, but I think that's where they belong. Let's just go to Diddy Kong now. Diddy Kong's is funny. I want everyone's thoughts beforehand. How strong is Diddy Kong's Final Smash, do you think? No combos, obviously, or there's technically some combos, but not really. It's one of those Final Smashes that you just use and stuff happens, you know? I love how in chat I just got two exactly opposite responses. Someone says this Final Smash is very bad, the other person says it's very strong. I feel like it's also really heavily RNG based, right? Like if I were to use... Yeah, I'm gonna try that actually. I'm gonna try and use the Final Smash from the exact same spot, no moving anything, and I feel like the outcome will be different each time. 52, like that type of launch angle, that makes sense. Well, thanks for stopping in, Pika, I really appreciate it. Yeah, right here, I'm getting carried all the way to the other blast zone, and that makes it stronger, right? That makes it way stronger. Sometimes you'll get a pattern that keeps it towards the center, which makes it weaker. Other times you'll get carried to the blast zone, and then you'll get KO'd way earlier, and that's just not as... That's just like, you know, different. It's just different. So, like, if you're, like, near the opponent, like, I don't know, maybe they tripped on a banana or something. You know, like any type of normal combo, it does make it stronger, but then the pattern there is weird, and I kind of fell out of it. It's still, I feel like it's still really strong though, because I technically don't need to combo anything at all. I can just use it whenever I want. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Consistently good, inconsistently insane is a good way to put it. So like, I think it's at least an A tier in that sense, right? But dude. I'm getting hit a little bit less, dragged into a better spot, but it's still super strong. You don't even need to do anything. In theory, it's inconsistent, right? Because you can fall out of it sometimes. Things can just not work out, but these were getting pretty consistent KOs even at like 30% or something, right? 25%. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it in A tier, the top of A tier. like borderline S tier. It's just a little bit less consistent than I would like, you know, but it's still super good. And now we get to Sonic. You can get KOs with this, right? Like if they're like high enough percent and they get hit right there, they can get KO'd. It's, you know, not like they're gonna guarantee dodge it, but the final hit can kill. But I don't think anyone's ever gonna land the final hit. Like who's gonna fall into the final hit here? Like it just stall in the air, right? This can only go so high. So any character that gets hit high up there without getting KO'd, they can just like stall in the air for a little bit, because the final smash doesn't last that long. Yeah, the outro animation. Who's gonna get hit by the outro animation too? See, like easy, like sure, like now you're in a bad situation, Sonic could just like up air you or whatever, but most characters can stall easily. Yeah, I think we already know this is F tier. I think it's better than Puff's, but that's about it. I keep spending too much time on each character, right? So here, I'm gonna give an example of me being fast, right? King Dedede has a lot of combos into this final smash, and this final smash is very strong. Like the hitbox is bigger than it looks. Down throw works on it so much. You got Gordo play, you got falling aerials, all that. You have a lot of ways to combo into this final smash. That KO'd at 0%. All right, boom, do it, down throw, boom. Can't air dodge, anything like that. And by the way, you can jump after using down throw in order to land into this final smash. This is just an insanely good final smash. It's super strong, a lot of ways to combo into it for pretty consistent, you know, durations. It's basically DK's final smash. We can think of it like DK's final smash. And yeah, S tier. Cool. I'll let him have fun with DK. Olimar. Olimar. So we probably know something about this final smash, right? Because you can just air dodge through that and guarantee that you don't get hit. Oh, wait, I got hit by the spike. The spike is surprisingly weak. But here is another example, right? Watch what happens when I hit this. You get buried. When you get buried, that berry lasts for the entire time, and you're almost guaranteed to get actually hit by it. I think a lot of people don't remember that, or just don't even know that the initial thing buries. If you're grounded and close to Olimar, you get buried there. I'm mashing. I am mashing like crazy here. I can't get out, and I'm dead. Because if you can, like, you know, like use a falling aerial like that and get the berry hitbox. Ooh, that is strong. That is super strong. But then that starts working a little bit less at higher percents because, like, you know, those combos work less. Like I do a falling aerial, now they're in the air, and when they're in the air, I can't bury them. This is where I was thinking about the grab release, right? Because if you can do that, if they don't know how to properly mash out a grab release, that's a combo right there, and that works, right? That's insane. All you have to do in this scenario is mash with jump, and all of a sudden that doesn't work anymore. So yeah, plus it's technically weaker on Battlefield because you can just, actually let me show that off, it's pretty fun. If I like try to use it in the center at all, it does still hit actually, but it's the weaker hit version of the hit. So like the platforms kind of technically limit how you can use it, which is unfortunate, but you know, if you're Olimar, you can just ban Battlefield, so that's the thing. It's gotta be like somewhere in the center, right? That's what I'm thinking. C tier. I think it's a C tier Final Smash because like it has really high highs and really low lows. If you can get the burying hitbox, it's actually super good. And I'm gonna move on to Lucario. Whatever, let's do that. 0% Final Smash. That sucks. It's really not that good. Yoink. He's so strong. It's so broken with full aura, dude. At full aura, this is busted, kinda. Like again, you can dodge this, right? You can definitely dodge this Final Smash. Like if your character has like, like if you can like stay up in that area long enough, it's good. But for most of the cast, it's hard to like dodge completely, right? And yeah, you get meter for being damaged too. So like you're probably gonna be at least like, let's just say like 100%. If you have high aura, this is just totally busted. This is so good. It has vertical knockback, so it doesn't really matter exactly where you hit it. So if it was less inconsistent, I would put it in S tier. But obviously, given that you can be at low aura and it's kind of useless, it's either A or B tier, right? I think S tier or B tier for now, right? S tier potential, but yeah, I think B tier. B tier is good. Okay, first off, you can't combo into this because it's just that slow. There's like no hitbox right now. There's just lasers, right? And the lasers aren't always there. And like that lasts a while. It's got good range and duration. It's not totally weak, but oh my god, do you want to know a funny technique, guys? Do you want to know a really funny technique? You can just use the lasers to cancel your up special to use up special again. I feel like every character has the ability to dodge it. Like even if I use it right here, right? Like I can only move it so far. You can move it pretty far, but then you get locked into that area pretty quickly. I feel like the highest it can be is C tier, right? It cannot be any higher than C tier, but the more coverage it has. Like if I go to the other side of the stage, but I don't know. It's hard for me to test thoroughly. I think I'm personally gonna put it in D tier, if not just because D tier is looking a little bit empty. I'll put it at the top of D tier. I think there's something more to it. I will admit that this is a blind spot. This is the type of Final Smash I would need to see used more just to see what the counterplay is like. This Final Smash immediately out of up special, you need to like cancel it, but oh yeah. Yeah, there's definitely more coverage when you do that, but it's still very linear coverage. I don't know. I could see this being C tier if like that technique there ends up having better coverage. Again, like I'm very limited in how he thinks Rob's is the worst, huh? Yeah, that was the last of the Brawl characters. I've done a lot of mining off screen. When I say that, I mean I've done a lot of research into Final Smashes between last night's stream and this stream right now. I've watched a lot of VODs of the Smash tourney just to like see, you know, the Final Smash meter tourney just to see what was going on there. I've watched a lot of videos, not just like of people's opinions, but of mechanics regarding the Final Smashes throughout the cast. So I'm gonna make some updates before I go forward here. Right? I'm going to make Get out of here! I'm going to make some updates. So first off, one thing I kind of wanted to bring up is I was told that Sonic does have a pretty decent combo into his Final Smash. You know, you do spin jump, and then it hits the Final Smash, and they die. It's not bad. It only really works at this percent, 80%. Like, I mean, you can technically use it at any other percent, right? The combo still works just fine, but they're not going to die. You know, it's really weak combo, but it's a combo. It's something. It's better than nothing, you know? It's... My opinion right now is that we're going to get some new F tiers as I get through this wrap-up. And a lot of those F tiers you can dodge completely. Whereas this is at least a consistent way to get a stock at, like, higher percents, which is something cool. Yeah, I think this one is just... This one's super easy to dodge, but there's at least a combo that into it, you know, that you can get a stock with. So I'm going to put this in D tier, very bottom of D tier for now, because as you'll see... F tier has some competition. For example, with Zero Suit's Final Smash, I was kind of like wondering this yesterday, but I watched an entire video, for another character too, but I watched a video of someone having a consistent method to always dodge this Final Smash's final hit. Alright, so yeah, I'm pretty sure if I'm grounded here, yep. You dodge the entire... I was at 999%, and I could dodge the final hit by just jumping and air dodging, right? And if you're in the air... Yeah, you can just dodge it as well. I feel like it's not a guaranteed dodge, right? I feel like there are some factors. Like, maybe if Zero Suit guesses where you're going to dodge, right before the final hit happens, they can like move the cursor over and hit you after the dodge, but I feel like you can also react to that. So I don't know, this is the type of Final Smash where I feel like you can always avoid the final hit. So for the time being, I feel like Zero Suit has to be F tier, right? Because you can just never die from it if you play your cards properly. If the counterplay isn't as consistent or as guaranteed as I'm thinking, this could probably be D tier, maybe C tier. Definitely not B tier like I was thinking though. I think you can pretty easily avoid this. So yeah, that's the first change here. Oh yeah, here's another big change here. Let me go over to Rob real quick. Basically, I'm gonna like link it sometime when I make the full video as well and do some editing and stuff. But basically, you can always dodge Rob's Final Smash. You can always completely avoid it, even if he's like way off stage. There are ways to completely avoid this entire Final Smash. Because if you as Mario, or any character really, get above or below Rob, wherever he was, you can avoid the laser entirely. Yes, I know you can angle. I'm controlling 2 characters with 1 human being. It's a little bit difficult, but yes, you can go above or under him and completely avoid the final smash entirely. Yes, here's the video. The cropping is weird because that's just how it did it for the tier list, but yes, this is why it's kind of hard to share because it's all in Japanese, right? But it is not that good. Those little lasers at the start just completely allow you to avoid it. Yeah, you go around here and you completely avoid it all. So yeah, I don't know. I could spend the rest of the stream debating this one thing, but I kind of want to actually like move on. So basically just know that there is extreme counterplay to Rob, and Rob can make it harder to do that counterplay, but not only do you have to be right next to the blast zone, which, you know, the opponent's probably not going to let you do, but also there's still counterplay against that. So, yeah, Rob just has to be F tier. High F tier, maybe, but if you can completely avoid it, then yeah. This is like unrelated. This is technically unrelated to the tier list specifically, but it's just kind of funny. Did you see that? Did you see that just now? The first part of the big laser doesn't go through Tough Guy. If I'm Bowser, I can just tank the first hit of the laser and then just go away. I'm pretty sure that's the same for other moves that have Tough Guy adjacent armor as well. The laser is just that weak. It's really funny. That's just really funny. So yeah, I just wanted to show that one off. I watched the video and I think you can just avoid snakes. Let's see how you use it. Oh. And then Mario, I'm pretty sure Mario can just do this. Oh, like I think if you time it really well there, you just avoid every single missile. Like Snake can technically move around during the final smash, so it's not like a guaranteed counter play, right? Like you can make it a little bit harder for the opponent to dodge every missile by attacking them, right? But you can still pretty easily dodge it. I think I was giving Snake's final smash a little bit too much credit by putting it in C tier because it is way easier to dodge this final smash than I was thinking. I think he's got to be D tier. Maybe high D tier, like the top of it, but you can't really combo into it. The opponent is just able to do whatever he wants to avoid the missiles, and I just don't think it's that good, you know? Next up is Marth and Lucina. I'm not gonna lie, I did not know a little thing, but let me pull up a page real quick. So here's the page. The cropping is weird. Yeah. Where's Marth? Marth and Lucina. This is the knockback multiplier. 0.3 multiplier on his knockback. So even though Marth's final smash seems really strong in a, you know, smash ball setting, right? Like you get it, you hit it, and they die. That's insanely strong, right? The thing that we decided on yesterday was that because the combos were very limited with Marth and Lucina, that it would be B tier because of his strength. But with that multiplier in, you know, smash meter settings, like it's not an insta KO. It's still pretty strong compared to other final smashes, but I think these are a C tier, a solid C tier for sure, but still C tier in my opinion. All right, so next up is Luigi. Apparently the knockback on Luigi's final smash is way worse than basic tests would have you think, and the hitbox is just just not as good either. If we were to compare this to cutscene final smashes, and this was like a smash meter setting, it still has good combo potential. I don't know. There's a lot of startup too. Wait, what tier did I put him in? B tier? I think the bottom of B tier is fine, but do we think he deserves C tier for the insane lack of strength here? I feel like the top of C tier personally. Game & Watch. It was something like this. Yeah, that combos. So basically what I learned is that Game & Watch actually has a lot of combos. The only thing is, like, you think that this was a niche scenario, right? Like, oh, you have to be facing away the ledge and grab them. No, it's not very niche because as long as you just turn around when you use it, it still combos. And at higher percents, it does a lot of damage, and that still KOs from the stage. This final smash is actually good. This final smash has ways to combo into it, and it's pretty consistent too. There's just so many ways to KO with this that people just don't realize. A lot of combos. I think this is definitely in the B tier area, I think. I feel like even if Diddy Kong's is inconsistent, it's so free. Like you just get it and use it, yeah, I just think this is S tier. Like it is kind of RNG. Being able to fall out of it sucks because if you don't fall out of it very often at all, then this is S tier, easy, right? So, and the last thing I wanted to bring up is Lucas. I still feel like I don't see the potential, but so many people are saying that this is so good, right? People are saying that this is crazy good. Feel like I'm underestimating him. I feel like there's something here that I have yet to learn that is true. So I feel like I need to move Lucas up at least to this tier. And I don't know. I'm gonna move Ice Climbers below Olimar because I just what do we think about Ice Climbers? I still think that Ice Climbers have easy coverage. I feel like this is like straddling the line already. Should I just put Ice Climbers in D tier? I feel like it's strong enough and I feel like it's big enough. I'll put them in here for now. For now, yeah. Okay, so first off, yoink and yay. This one's pretty good. There's combos. Villager has combos. It's pretty strong. You have less combos into it than you'd think, but it's not that much less. You know, like I think down throw works pretty well. Yeah, down throw works well for a pretty good amount of time. It's basic, but I'd say the top of B tier for now, personally. It's very run-of-the-mill. This is what you want from a Final Smash. That's pretty cool. He has combos. Isabelle, though. Isabelle has everything that Villager has. But you also have this. That's a true combo. If you hit jab once, they die. That's on top of every other combo that Villager has. Plus, in my opinion, at least. Yep, see? So, it's a thing. It's a thing. I feel like it's not leagues better, but I do think if we're putting Villager near top of this tier, I think Isabelle just has, not only to mention that Isabelle is just straight up stronger than Villagers for some reason. It's only by like a few percent or so, but this is just a straight up stronger Final Smash than Villagers. I don't know why they did that, but they did. So it has a lot of startup here, which makes combos harder. But yeah, it's really easy to, it's not as hard to land as you might think, right? It's a slow startup, so there's less consistent ways to get it into you, but he's got ways to combo into it, and it's actually really easy to land. But I don't think there's still ways to avoid it, and it's not that guaranteed, so I'm going to put him at the bottom of B tier personally. I think there are just too many ways to avoid it. A lot of people, I've seen the opinion shared that Wii Fit Trainer's Final Smash is a better Mario, right? I feel like I've heard that one said by a lot of people. I think you have combos into it though, but they're not that guaranteed. The starting hitbox isn't as big and as fast as Mario, so there's not really a lot of combos into it. Yeah, you can usually avoid the big one at the end too. I feel like it's a little bit harder to avoid than other Final Smashes that you can avoid. But I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot of ways for you to fall out and not let it work. Hold on. I'm just gonna focus on not jumping. There we go. See, it's just so easy because like the little hits there, especially when you're at higher percents, they launch you upwards, which makes it easier to dodge the final hit. And I just, in general, I feel like there's not a lot of use cases for this one. Like at lower percents, it can get stocks, I guess, but yeah, I feel like it can only really be effective against characters with terrible movement, right? Anyone else is going to have multiple ways to get out of it. So because of that, I feel like it deserves to be D tier because you can just get out of it, right? There's combos into it, but it rarely will end up doing anything because you can, you know, just get out of it. All right, Rosalina and Luma. That is straight up combos. And you can hit them while it's happening to not only rack up more damage, but to sort of guarantee that, you know, they get launched the proper way, right? Like, I think people sleep on this one. I slept on it hardcore. The thing is like, I feel like this is still not that consistent, right? Like, if you're in mid-percents, you're probably just not going to hit anyone. So I think this is not worthless. There are combos into it, and let's remember that this is, you know, it can still be used to trap ledge pretty consistently. It's still not that good, right? Like, if you're at mid or high percents, there's not really a combo anymore. It's pretty easy to avoid, but like if you put your star like right there, it's not worthless. It's really not worthless, but I still think it's a D tier. I could see if there are more combos into the star than I'm expecting, then I can easily see this being at least C tier. If the combos are more consistent, B tier even, but at the moment, I think there's some combos which make it really good in very niche scenarios, and it's not super bad. But, you know, compared to all the other Final Smashes, it's, So yeah, Lomax Final Smash, actually let me turn it down here. I'm gonna, yoink. It's a very strong Final Smash, right? Like, it's very powerful. Yeah, technically it's a recovery option. That is true. Wait, no, that's actually that's a really funny idea. Hold on, let me, oops. That's kind of funny, actually. I don't know. I've just found in all my testing that it's a little bit more limited from the combo perspective than just KO Punch would be. And it's like a little bit less of a burst option, I guess, you know? I feel like it's still good though. It's still good, but it doesn't have as many combos. I think B tier is fair, right? I think B tier is fair. It's like, it's a recovery option and it's strong and stuff, but doesn't have as many combos. Replaces KO Punch, which can sometimes suck because KO Punch is almost as strong. Wait, who's next? Oh yeah, Greninja. Greninja. One thing I found is that this is it's easier to land than you'd think. Like the activation period seems slow, but the opponent is slowed down too, which makes it work. It's another one of those moves that's stronger on Battlefield and stuff, ain't worth a platform. There's multiple stages with a platform in the center, by the way, so you can't ban every single one, right? So Final Smashes like these inherently get a buff in the sense that you can always pick, I'm pretty sure you can always pick one stage at least that makes it better. Hold on. Yes, okay, that's the thing. If I just like sort of jump and like have the platform coming out hit them, that actually does combo. That's the thing. You can't just like let it combo normally, but you can definitely just, yeah, down throw definitely combos into it. Let me see down tilt even. Yep. Yeah, you don't even need to jump. Down tilt works, falling aerials. I think there's potential here. I think this is a fine Final Smash. It's strong. I like the ones where they send you down in the center because there's the buff to them. Yada yada yada. That works. Next up, we got all the Miis to look at now. There's another one where it's like, oh hey, yeah, you send them to the center. The activation hitbox is not that small. It's small. It's pretty small, but it's not ultra small or anything. I don't think any Final Smash really is. That's not really true combo, by the way. You can just DI that, but yeah, it's this is a very powerful Final Smash, especially when there's again any platform. Guess what? Boom! He has one of these nairs, guys. He has one of these nairs. I missed it, but it's a skill check anyways. He has one of those nairs. It's already B tier, right? It's already at least B tier. Vertical activation hitbox. Yeah, so that I was holding air dodge there. That down throw does work for lower percents. And you have a lot of aerials that work too. So yeah. I don't know, like throws do work. Yeah, down throw. Like I think towards the middle percents, down throw is probably gonna be less consistent, but he's either top of B tier or lower A tier. I think probably lower A tier for me personally. He has, it's really strong consistently, and yeah, I think this is fair. It's the same logic as Greninja. It's like a lot of decent ways to combo into it. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Next up is Swordfighter. Yeah, this one just isn't that good. Okay, let's pretend I got hit by it. The thing about this Final Smash is it doesn't really have knockback. We've already talked about it with Wii Fit, right? This is honestly, this is kind of just the same case as Wii Fit. I feel like I don't really need to repeat myself. He has like potential ways to combo into it. Like, let's assume that I hit my nair there. Actually, it doesn't even matter. It's good at the ledge, right? It's decent at the ledge if you manage to get it hit, but like let's say like I try to use it over here. It's not gonna be able to kill. If I like stalled it out properly, yeah. It's straightforward. I don't know. Mii Swordfighter. I think it's right next to Wii Fit, right? Like, it's just not that good. Alright, next up is Mii Gunner. This is like, I'm not gonna lie. I think this is the best laser Final Smash. You get sent horizontally so far during the Final Smash, right? With Samus the Final Smash, you can even SDI and you can like get sent basically nowhere, and it just relies on the knockback, right? But with this one, it's like you just get sent so You get dragged to the blast zone, basically. You get dragged and then launched. I don't know. I feel like this is just straight up better than Samus's. I'm pretty sure combos work. Actually, it has a backwards hitbox too. I mean, it has a hitbox on the back. Yeah, let me test SDI to the extent. A little bit. It's only a little bit, and obviously you can just, you know, as the Mii Gunner, you can just tilt it wherever they're SDIing. The SDI potential here is actually not that high. Neutral air, very good combo into it. Let me just move that upwards, and yeah, you die. If Samus is gonna be A tier, Mii Gunner needs to be S tier. That's what I'm thinking. Let me see, does forward throw even work here? Because, like, you know, even if it's not a true combo, like, they're not gonna be able to jump out of it, right? Like, oh, good luck jumping out of that one. That's funny, super funny. Yeah, hell hand time. This is kind of similar to Mega Man's in my opinion, in that, like, they're startups, so it's not as easy to super duper combo into, but it's just, that's a huge black hole. It's so hard to get out of that black hole. It's not that great, but I don't know. Like, a lot of characters won't be able to escape even if the combo is, like, not true, right? It's weaker, but it's really easy to land. I think the fact that it's super easy to land, you know, is not, like, ultra weak, right? Like, Palutena's easy mode, the Final Smash is pretty easy mode. It's, I think this is just stronger than Mega Man's. Not stronger, like, in power, but it's, like, the Vortex hitbox is bigger, and it's on a character who has more ways to combo, or, like, guarantee that actually works. Yeah, I think I could see this being A tier. She just has so many ways to hit this, because you don't need a true combo for this type of Final Smash. You just, you know, hit him with something, get him in a somewhat reasonable position, and then the black hole will suck him in, and the laser hits him. So yeah, I think that's fair. I think we're fine there. All right, here we go to something funny. I have seen literally polar opposite opinions. I have seen some people say that this Final Smash is trash F tier, easy to dodge. I have seen other people say, like just now, that this is like one of the best Final Smashes in the game. I want more data personally. I want to see people actually like do tournaments, and this is one of those things where I feel like it's a skill check. Like, I feel like it's not the guaranteed kill that some people are saying it is, but it really does last a long time. And you don't need to combo into it because, you know, it's a scream wipe, right? Like, I can just use it whenever I want, and that's pretty cool. So at least, like, against someone who's moving. Oh, that one... Was that a skill issue on my end, to be honest? It's fast, but, like, you can only move Pac-Man's Final Smash so much, right? Like, if they go up from up to down, like, I'm tilting up, I can't go all the way down for another while, you know? Like, if they go from up to down, I can't really, like, change the Final Smash's angle until I loop around a few more times. Like, if you're, like, at mid% and you get hit once, get this level 9 CPU to this side of the stage. There we go. Use it here, I guess, and then, yeah, he air dodged. And it took me a while to actually get down to where he air dodged because of how slow it is. I definitely started low. Okay, let me start it low. Let me start, like, at 10%, I guess. So, you mean like right here? Alright, get out of here, dude. What are you doing? Yeah, I could see this one being a little bit better. Yeah, I'm coming into this one with, like, kind of a blank slate. I really don't know what to think of this Final Smash. This is one of those things where, like, it's hard to make theory, right? I think B, personally. Yeah, I think... Let's leave it at B. I could see this being more consistent. If this, in practice, was more consistent depending on certain positioning, then I think I could see this being higher, but right now, nah, I'm just gonna keep it at B. It's not bad, not a bad ranking. Maybe I'll put it like in the middle of B, like somewhere like right there. I don't know, sure. There you go. Hello, hi, how are you? All right. Once you get Levin Sword, I'm pretty sure basically everything Robin has combos into this. And this is another one that's like, you know, you hit him down where it's stronger on stages with, you know, that's not a true combo, by the way. You can just DI, but you know, I think for Robin, it's just kind of just like a similar case to these guys, right? It's strong on a lot of stages where there's a center platform, a lot of ways to combo into it. It's just kind of one of these Final Smashes. These are always just kind of good, and Robin's is also really good. Robin's has more of an activation range too, so I think I don't even need to like really say anything. Robbins can just do what these things can do. He has a lot of ways to combo into it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. We don't need to stay here forever. Okay, so like the activation hitbox is not super small, but it's small, right? But yeah. Okay, so here's the funny thing, right? Smash art, final smash, right? But here's the thing: is like if you're in the situation where like, oh well, wait, I have my final smash now. How am I supposed to use my Monado arts, right? Because the neutral special is my final smash, which means the only way you could use smash arts is if you have it preemptively before getting the final smash, which won't always happen, right? These Monado arts don't last very long. It's not a great window. Oh. Oh! Oops. Yeah, so basically you can just do that. It's so easy to, yeah, no, it's shockingly easy to actually use your Monado arts when you have your final smash. I feel like a lot of people be like, oh, what? You get rid of your Monado arts, it's nerfed. No. Like, yeah, you can use that at your shield, too. Like, if you just hold down B... Yeah, I didn't even know you could do that. That's funny. If you just hold down B, like, out of shield, it doesn't use your final smash, but it uses your Monado arts. And, you know, being Shulk, you have one of, you know, forward air, landing neutral air. It's... Basically, I think it's a pretty similar case to DK, right? Really strong, really good potential. Hold on, let me try using it like this. Hold on. Wait, no, it's not gonna be the whole thing, right? Does it go down during? It does, okay. So like if you use Buster, you can get more damage, and then Buster goes away before the final hit, which makes it just better, right? That's pretty funny. I'm pretty sure there aren't really that many combos out of grab, which is something to consider, but you have a lot of really good aerials, and you know, you can just use you know your Monado arts, right? Like get speed. Ooh, now I can just land with I'm terrible at Shulk, by the way. I'm like god awful at Shulk. You know, land with neutral air and boom. What does shield final smash look like? I'm pretty sure it's dog water. Let me see. And now I'm actually kind of curious. This would be a funny flex, like getting a KO with shield final smash. Wait, shield will always go away before the final hit, though, it looks like. If DK is S tier, then this is S tier as well, right? Monado Arts, Final Smash, very funny, very cool. I think it's S tier, personally. Bowser Jr.'s Final Smash is... Here's the way that it works, right? If I use it, and the opponent is, like, far away from me... Well, that sucks. That was terrible, that was worthless. But if I, the Bowser Jr., try and stay as close to the opponent as I can, it'll cover more of the screen, which is better. It's better if I, as Bowser Jr., try and keep the screen size as low as possible to therefore affect as much of, you know, as much as I can, really. This isn't worthless. I feel like you can do something, right? But... Oh yeah, this is actually technically recovery too. That's actually really funny. that's funny. But yeah, no, I think the fact that you can use it anywhere is obviously a bonus, right? That's a pretty good element of any Final Smash. I'm supposed to try and like just not attack Mario, but just like stay near him, right? Try and keep the camera in the center of him as much as I can. Like that's the play, right? That's the play on these like competitive stages, is that they're pretty small. So if you can just keep the camera near the opponent, then the attack will actually more consistently hit. And it's not worthlessly weak, you know? Like it doesn't do a lot of percent, but it can combo into itself and KO. So I feel like it's not worthless. I can see how easy it is to air dodge out of each individual hit now. Yeah, so it's one of those things where you kind of just want to get away from Bowser Jr. Yeah, I think this is fair. This is fair. We're Dokkan. Yeah, so here's you've all watched my video, I'm sure. You're all very loyal and dedicated fans. You all already know that you can do the funny thing. Go all the way down here, brother, and now you're here forever. Stalling is just straight up banned in, you know, tournaments. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to use this in tournaments because it's banned. Would you get DQ'd in quick play even if you're mashing? You tried it on quick play. Okay, so if that just straight up doesn't work, then that's... So basically, if you are at a casual area, you know, like you're just playing with your friends, no tournament or anything, this is like an S tier Final Smash, right? Because, you know, you can just stay outside and it sucks. It's terrible. It sucks so much. But I guess for the purposes of this tier list, I'm going to ignore that because it doesn't work in tournaments or quick play. You know, there are combos into it, I'm pretty sure. But guess what? Want to know a fun fact? Out of every cutscene Final Smash, this is the weakest. Isn't that funny? This is the weakest cutscene Final Smash in terms of damage and knockback. Maybe not damage, but knockback, it is just really weak. Surprisingly weak. Yes, combos into it, of course. Let me see. Actually, let me see how consistent down throw is. Now I'm curious. Wow. Down throw is surprisingly consistent for the Final Smash. Oh, what was it? Yeah, you could like land with down air and just do that as well. Or you can land with a drag down up air as well. He has a lot of... So basically he has consistent throw combo, consistent neutral air, you know, consistent aerials in general, right? I feel like I'm going to put it at the bottom of B tier because like you have... Or maybe the middle. Oh my god, these Final Smashes are just insane. Oh my god, these Final Smashes are so insane. You can cancel anything into it. You can cancel any move into a special attack. Like you can do yoink. But like yeah, let's say you hit this. The fact that you have the access to a horizontal launching one as well is really good. This is definitely S tier in my opinion. You have like basically an infinite number of ways to combo into your Final Smash, and they're really not that weak. You have access to a horizontal one. This is the top of S tier in my opinion. Ken has the same ludicrously high combo potential, right? Yeah, boom, 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 boom. Very consistent, very good. We like that. One thing I want to make sure people know about, right? Let's say I'm at like 30%. What do we think about this Final Smash, right? I think a lot of people see that and go, wow, that was weak. That was not a good Final Smash, right? But I think what people are forgetting is that you gotta mash during that. If you mash during that Final Smash, it's a lot stronger. It's basically as strong as Ryu's Final Smash. Hold on, let me try and buffer an air dodge, because if up throw works, that's pretty funny. Yeah, that works. I mean, this is a character who already has like an insane number of combos, right? But I think this version of the Final Smash is still really good. It's still really good, right? This is another S tier. People just need to know, need to realize, you know, that you just mash neutral B during the other one, and it's really good. And I'm gonna put Terry in this same section of the video because he is a similar case in the sense that Terry can also combo his normals into his Final Smash instantly. He can cancel his normals into a special, so he only has the one, but you can combo it from anything. If you land a single move, you hit the Final Smash. And it's not like ultra weak, right? Like it's not like the weakest Final. It's weaker in my opinion than Ken and Ryu's because you have less options, but it's not weak in a general sense. Like look at the document here. Terry, KO is around like 30% or so at the middle of the stage, no combo or anything. It's not bad. Yeah, he can cancel specials into it as well. I'm not sure if the other characters can as well, but yeah. You know, like you land jab. It's so easy. It's gotta be S tier, right? It's gotta be S tier. Alright, so I feel like we already know what's gonna happen here, right? It's not quite... No, it's just like Ike's and them, you know, like a billion ways to combo into it. And then, yeah, that... I don't know, right? Like, do we really need to say anything? It's like, you have a bunch of ways to combo into this Final Smash. And, like, yeah. It just works. Where did I put Ike again? Okay, I put Ike right here. I think, should I put him, like, right next to, like, I think they should all be a family, personally. And I'm gonna put Clouds here as well. Pull opponents through the stage. Okay, I heard that one before. I'm gonna see exactly how much it is. If I shark while facing the stage... like that. Yeah, that had the red bubble there, so I couldn't tech it, so that's pretty funny. Okay, that's like, it's a thing, yeah. I feel like it loses points in the sense that you don't really have as many mid% combos, but you have combos into it, for sure. Yeah, no, there's combos for this character. Like, they exist. So, and it's got decent KO power, so. Yeah, like, what do you think? Just B tier, though, right? Like, you know, B tier is full of characters with some combos that land into the final smash, right? So, it's just, yeah, I'll do, like, middle of B tier, I guess, you know. Now we get to Bayonetta. So, like, as a bunch of chat members who exist as a bunch of chat members, what do we think that this final smash is like? You know, they use the witch time, boom, boom, skibbity toilet, right? I spam B, you gotta spam B. There you go. And they died at 20%. You could do this, right? You could hit them with, like, basically anything. And then now they're, like, right next to you in a weird spot. You could do anything. Guess what? Slowdown is broken. And now you just mash a little bit. Oh, wow, they died. Oh, I can't remember if it's this video. Wait, yes, okay. Yes, it is. Okay, you do it from up throw. That's what I was missing. But yeah, you see that? Like, you grab them, you throw them up, and they're already so high into the blast on that, even if they don't die instantly. They die instantly. Yeah, no, I just think a lot of people just don't realize how good this Final Smash is. You can use it anywhere. Zelda's Final Smash is easier to use, lower skill ceiling, but this one, man, ooh. If you're good with Bayonetta and you don't use it like a silly little fool, this gets KOs super easily, right? In a more practical setting, right? Like, let's say you're at, like, oh, I don't know, 90%, and Bayonetta gets her Final Smash. Use it anywhere. Jab the opponent once, and they die. Slowdown is broken. Slowdown is busted. And also, just in case anyone is wondering, you are invincible while this is happening, so. Yeah. Yeah, people sleep on that super hard. This is S tier. This is S tier. I think it deserves, if I'm being honest, I think at peak play, this could end up being the best Final Smash in the game, but at the very least, it is right next, it's near Zelda, right? I think it's just right here, right here. It's just super good. Okay, Inkling, now it's time for Inkling. Like, I don't know, like, how often can the opponent escape, right? Like, I'm SDing up, but I can also just angle it upwards, right? And I can move during the attack, so, like, if I... Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's combos that could be done too, technically. I just think the fact that you can move the laser while they're in it, and move around and attack while they're in it, I would need to see how effective the SDI is, right? But I think you can just do so much damage while they're stuck in there, and you can move the laser enough to maybe match the SDI. And unlike Rob's, the startup is still decent, right? Like, the laser happens right here. You're not given a bunch of time and a bunch of free ammo to, like, jump over it. You can just use it and boom. Yeah. I think this is either A or S tier. Either A or S. Before I rank it, let me see what it's like when the opponent is, like, off stage. I use it here, the opponent goes off stage. No, you can angle it downwards. You can angle it downwards pretty far, actually. I think Mii Gunner's personally is a little bit, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I think if we're putting Mii Gunner in S tier, then Inkling deserves S tier as well. Next up is Ridley. So, this one is, like, insanely strong in terms of damage, right? Yoink. This is obviously with, like, the Smash Ball, not Smash Meter, but, you know, super strong. Insane damage, but literally impossible to get a KO with it until it insta-KOs. And the thing is, that's not a very high range. Like, well, let me check my notes. 42% is when it starts insta-KOing with the Smash Ball. It really still experiences a damage multiplier for their final smash. You know? That means you physically cannot KO with this final smash until, like, I don't know, probably around like 50 or 60%. You cannot physically KO this opponent until they are at least like 60% with the smash meter on. It's impossible to get a KO before that. Still does great damage, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, but let's actually talk about combos here. He's got combos. It's fast, it's long. He's got plenty of combos. Yeah, you could set up a motion. Actually, that's a great idea. Actually, let's do that. Wait, that didn't even... Oh, that's funny. It doesn't even work. I think it's decent. I think it's decent. I'm just gonna put it in B tier. I think there are combos into it, but it's a bit polarizing. But I think there's ways to use it. I think Simon's Final Smash is pretty awesome, actually. But like you do have something funny in the sense that you can just do this. You landed a down air. That's pretty cool combo. But honestly, I think one of the more promising elements of the Final Smash is the fact that you can just do that, and then you land the Final Smash, right? It's not like the traditional type of combos, but he has combos. He has ways to use it. They work really well with his kit, and you know, Holy Water. I think A tier works for me personally. And obviously Richter is the same. I don't really need to show that off. Now we can go to King K. Rool. There's no mix-up. You're dead. Like, I'm 90% sure you can't mash out of that fast enough, given how fast the activation hitbox of the Final Smash is. Like, once you're at like past mid-percents, down throw will guarantee it no matter what you're doing. And this is a, let's not forget, this is a very strong Final Smash, dude. In terms of, this is like DK levels of strong. You have plenty of combos. You have landing nair, right? You have landing nair, you have down tilt, that works too. You have all that. Yeah. Yeah, so like at lower percents, when you can mash out down throw, you can just use forward air, or forward throw, and that works too. And this is insanely strong. Don't really need to stick to that one anymore. It's like Donkey Kong's and them. Super strong, very powerful. Alright, Incineroars, you'd think that because you can't land the Final Smash if someone has grab invincibility, that grab combos wouldn't work, but they do. So yeah, he has combos, and it's a strong Final Smash, and everyone likes it. I don't remember if Revenge like stacks properly though. Okay, so Revenge doesn't actually like necessarily apply as much, but I think it all depends on exactly how well Incineroar can land it. So like how easy is the down throw combo? It works. Down throw actually seems to combo into it for a pretty decent percent range. But, you know, it's a grab combo on a character that's extremely slow. Incineroar is a grapple character, but, you know, he's extremely slow. So let me see, there's also, you know, Falling Nair. Falling Nair is actually really good, too. I'm not very familiar with Incineroar's game, right? But down tilt will work as well. I'm pretty sure up tilt will work as well, too. I don't know, if we're going with the same logic that this entire tier list has been, with A tier being consistent combos and strength in the Final Smash, then Incineroar has to be A tier, right? Now we get the Piranha Plant. We're all at the DLC now, right? If you just tilt the control stick while you're in shield, you'll be able to move Piranha Plant, or you'll be able to move PD Piranha without moving Piranha Plant. Sorry, there's a lot of plant names going on right now. The thing is, like, the fact that you can, like, get yourself into a position means you can get a KO from any percent, right? I feel like this is one that people sleep on more than I would expect, but this is another one where like I could see it going either way. Does the F smash combo into like the explosion? I want to try that final or the forward smash thing. Yeah, no, that just straight up works. There's like a huge buffer period between when it hits the ground and when the opponent gets launched. And yeah, you can pretty easily just attack with anything. In a practical environment, if they get hit into the cage and Piranha Plant isn't already dead, and the opponent is good, or the user is good, they should die no matter what percent they're at, right? I guess maybe like not always, but like still. That's the thing, is like I don't actually know how easy or hard it is to dodge this one. This is where my lack of experience comes in, right? So like if the opponent is trying to stall ledge, that's a... Now that right there kind of... It seems like PD Piranha can't like deal with anything if the opponent is at the ledge. If PD Piranha tries to like grab them too far, they're gonna fall off stage and the final smash is gonna become useless because it's not gonna do anything, right? Right, like that does nothing because you get sent up so far, so. You can't counter it too much as Piranha Plant though, because like, if you as Piranha Plant go off stage, like here, like, let me try this as well. If you as Piranha Plant go off stage to, oh, wait, that one hit. That one hit, okay, hold on. So, it's so limited, right? Like, that was me grabbing the ledge, but, like, I guess... Sure, the opponent... If the opponent is just stalling at ledge, you could, like, hit him into it. But, you know, because I'm so close to the ledge, PD Piranha is going to be, like, also by the ledge. And if PD Piranha is by the ledge, then they're more likely to fall down, which the moment PD Piranha falls off the stage, the final smash becomes useless, right? Basically useless. Alright, this is a similar case to Pac-Man, I feel like, where when things actually go its way for the final smash, it's really strong. It's really easy to make really strong. It's either C or B tier, in my opinion. These two are basically... I'm gonna... Just for the sake of consistency, I think I'm gonna put these both, Pac-Man and Piranha Plant, in C tier. These are like more experimental picks for me. I could easily see them going either way, depending on how easy it is to actually avoid. But until I know how easy it is to perfectly avoid, these belong in C tier in my opinion. Joker's Final Smash is another one that's an insta-KO. It's technically one that can KO you with its launch. Yeah, Joker's Final Smash. Obviously, if we're going off of vibes, his Final Smash is like S tier, right? Like this, I love this Final Smash in terms of vibes, but... I don't know. So it KOs at like 60% or so. That's extremely low for a Final Smash. 60% is really low for a Final Smash to KO, you know? It can KO earlier though. It can KO a little bit earlier. So like, let me see. Yeah, you can make him dash in the other direction. That's the thing. It's like not ultra useful, but it's useful enough. Yeah, so like if you use it at the ledge, it can still KO without doing the insta KO. So it's not like bad. In that sense, I think it is technically a little bit better than Ridley's. So like, let's go boom. Man, I need to jump after that. So yeah, you can combo into it. It's just like a little bit more polarizing. So I don't know. Where do we put Ridley? Okay, we put Ridley in B tier. I think Joker needs to also be B tier for the same reason, right? It's cool to be able to insta KO, but having limited KO potential before that sucks. His combo potential is fine. It's good. So B tier, I think that works. I kind of like Heroes. His Final Smash without any buffs is it's good. It's like pretty run of the mill, you know, like. And let me see. I'm pretty sure he has. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure he has really good combos into it too. Yeah, no, down throw combo is a lot longer than you'd think because the activation hitbox is really big and fast. It's not that weak. I farm, farm, farm. I'm a farming guy. I have an Oomph Final Smash now, dude. Oomph is not hard to get. You can just get Oomph, right? Okay, so basically, Heroes Final Smash with Oomph, and maybe other buffs because, you know, you can just farm them. It's so powerful. It is so strong with Oomph. So, I don't know, dude. Psych Up doesn't do anything, by the way. It only affects the initial hit, which doesn't really matter, so... I could use Oomph here. It's got a pretty good activation hitbox. It's pretty fast. 90% of gamblers. Come on. Come on, give me a snooze. Wait, I saw... No! I just saw it! No! I love this character so much. Oh, you're asleep now. Teehee. Combos. You can farm spells, get Acceleratle and Oomph, and then all of a sudden you're a freight train, right? You land one stray aerial and all of a sudden the opponent's dead. A tier. I think it has to be A tier at least. It's almost useless to Hero's Kit because he already has so much KO potential. I love that idea. Alright, Banjo and Kazooie, let's go. Alright, so Banjo is, yeah, infinitely better than Corns, I agree. Yeah, it doesn't have a back hitbox, which is a thing, but... Okay, so you get launched where you were hit rather than where Banjo was, so that's not a thing, but you can land with... Which aerial was it? The back air, right? You land with one hit of back air, and then you just combo into it. That'll work forever. It is surprisingly strong. I'm pretty sure the throws work too. Like, yeah, down throw is a berry. This one is a lot easier to mash out of than King K rules, so it's not really a thing. But you don't... I don't know. You have a lot of ways to combo into this final smash. Forward throw to smash, I don't think. Okay, it is at very, very low percent. That's pretty cool, actually. It's very fast, too. I'm going to give it an A tier. A tier is obviously the most popular tier. It kind of makes sense that a lot of cutscene final smashes and the like are, you know, really good. So... Oh yeah, I noticed the combo before I even saw the VOD, so I'm glad MKLeo was able to think of it too, which makes sense because he's, you know, MKLeo, but... Yeah. That works up until it starts spiking. I'm pretty sure it starts spiking around like 50 or so %, but... Oh, that is... It's strong, and the activation hitbox lasts a while too. And not to forget, he has the falling nair, which is so funny. Yeah, it kills. It's a very easy cheese combo, basically. So like, let's say I land it right here. I'm pretty sure that would KO at 0%, even with Smash Meter version, right? Because you're just so high up in the air after using up B. But I just know that at 0% with this, it's gonna KO at 0% by using up B, right? It's just unreasonably strong. The thing is like there's less combos at mid to high percents, which is unfortunate. Because like once the up B starts spiking, it's just kind of unfortunate, you know. But you still have some combos and it's still really strong. Yeah, I'm gonna put Byleth in A tier. Wait, do they actually have better damage multipliers? Dude, what? That's so stupid. That's so dumb. Why do they have better damage multipliers on what? I guess it's because you're paying money for them. Yeah, that makes sense actually. Alright, Min-Min's Final Smash is surprisingly really strong. And it KOs at like 11% from center stage. So like, you know, if I land an aerial here and get the attack... Yeesh. Yoink. Oh, that's just so strong, dude. And you don't lose access to the B button necessarily, because like, if I'm like using a tilt, I can use the B button like that, right? That's still a thing. That's still a thing I can do. I'm god-awful at this character, so it's hard to lab out anything, but you don't really have grab... You don't really use grabs with Min-Min, though, right? Like, that's just not really like a Min-Min thing. The forward throw, I guess, works. She has combos, some grab, and I don't know what's going on with this character. Because, like, you know, that's the thing, right? Like, I can't do a falling aerial from forward air, because when I hit B... it just does that arm instead, right? Like I can't really buffer or use Final Smash after using that aerial because it just instantly does the other arm, right? Like, hey, I'm trying to use Final Smash here and then it just uses that arm. So that's just an entire set of combos that doesn't work. I'm gonna say high B tier right now. I feel like it has more limited synergy than I was expecting. I could see it being A tier if the synergy or mechanics with the character are better, but it has high cheese potential, but, you know, again, so do all these other characters, so... Yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. And let's go to Steve. We're almost done. Yeah, no, Steve's activation hitbox, let's see how big it is, actually. Let's try it from right here. That doesn't work. It's... Okay, I wouldn't say it's huge, actually. Okay, obviously that one's gonna hit, right? Wait! That one didn't hit? But here's the thing, right? We're on Steve. We have Steve as a character right now. Steve is currently the character we're playing as. Do you know what Steve has? Steve has basically everything. So like, let's say I'm doing minecart and they get trapped in. I mean, come on. It's not like the biggest hitbox, but like, you're on Steve. You're on the character Steve, dude. This is almost where I feel bad pairing Final Smashes with the character's kit, because I feel like any Final Smash on Steve is going to be good because he's Steve. You can't mine. That's true. That's true. You can't mine. That is a good point. So like, if you happen to get the Final Smash while you know, you have low resources, then you... Yeah, no, this isn't like shulks in the sense that you can mine. No. Okay, so yeah. You can't place blocks or mine, which are pretty big for Steve, so that is worth considering, right? I don't know, it's just like you land a few aerials or tilts and then they die, like... Steve is very notorious for having those types of moves everywhere throughout his kit, right? But it is super worth considering how he loses access to some of his most important tools. You can't build blocks anymore, you can't mine anymore, you have to use your Final Smash as quick as possible. That being said, it's not too hard to use it like most throws or aerials or tilts or anything, so like it is a thing, it is still really strong, but yeah, down tilt probably works as well. He have a lot of ways to combo. But I feel like he could be at the very top of A tier. I'm gonna put it at A tier then. This was initially gonna be an S tier for me. Steve already has a ton of ways to combo into it. Honestly, Minecart alone makes me wonder if this is worthy of S tier, but then you know, we have so many insanely powerful ones in S tier anyway, so it's hard to say. This is one of those cases where it feels like I would need to see how much not having mining or blocks affects Steve. Because like, let's say you get caught with your pants down, right? Like, you have no materials and you're in kind of a weird position, and then you get your Final Smash, right? You get back on stage and stuff, and all of a sudden you have no way to get your materials back or to build or protect yourself in any way. So that's kind of, having a Final Smash is a little bit weird, but wait, if you hold on, this is unrelated to the tier list, but Burbo, is that true? Hold on. No one gets the Final Smash. No one gets to have fun now. No, that's practical. See, now Steve gets to keep his neutral special, but the opponent can't get their Final Smash. That's so funny. Okay, so Sephiroth, it feels like it varies, right? Because like, you know, you land the Final Smash, right? And sometimes the effect varies, you know? If he falls asleep, if he fell asleep when I landed the Final Smash at 0%, he's done for, right? He's just completely done for. Like, actually, I don't think he can do anything. Because, you know, you get this shield break too. I landed the Final Smash at like 15, and because you got shield broken or you make fall asleep, it's just easy KO, right? But then, like, what if you get another effect, right? Like, what if you get like that? Like, let's see if I actually get the effect. Because Flower is not a good effect. Right there, yeah, like I got Flower. The knockback when you have Flower is super weak. And the Flower effect, you know, it's damage, it's pretty cool, but, you know, the knockback is not as good. It's still pretty good, but not as good. And the slowdown effect, I don't know if I'll even be able to get it. It's so hard to actually get these effects, but... In terms of, like, just basic cutscene Final Smashes, right? This is obviously at least a B tier, because it, even, like, in the worst case scenario, it's dealing pretty decent knockback. I'm trying to get the slowdown effect to happen, because that's the one that I think is the worst. Oh yeah, the reverse control ones. Oh my god. Okay, so like if you get reverse controls and you don't know it, you're probably gonna accidentally KO yourself. That is so funny. I think slowdown is pretty bad too, because like if you get launched like really far into the air with slowdown, it's kind of hard for Sephiroth to go out there and attack you, you know, because he doesn't have too many safe ways to do that. Because it's just so good. Like the activation hitbox says, his kit works really well with it. It's just a really good Final Smash. But dude, like right there, you could notice before I started DIing that I had the reverse controls, but if anything, reverse controls might be the third best, you know, outside of shield break and sleep, because it could technically make it kill earlier, because most people aren't gonna know necessarily. It's at least an A tier. I could see it being S tier. It's not hard to land at all, and the good effects are insanely good, and the bad effects are still really good. But A tier is like a given for me. Okay, so the wiki page lists the probabilities. I don't think I've ever seen that before. What are the probabilities? Let me see. Alright, so basically, even if you're in the air, there's still a high chance for a shield break, right? It's still like... There's still pretty good odds to get the two insanely good effects. And you know, Mushroom is also, in my opinion, Mushroom is also insanely effective because reverse controls are so funny. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it in A tier for now, but I understand an argument for S tier, personally. Okay, now let's get to Pyra and Mythra. Now chat, what I want to ask is, do we judge these two separately, or do we judge them based on the best of the two, because you can just easily switch to the best of the two and use that? The thing is, okay, here's what I'm gonna say right off the gate. Pyra has so few combos into the Final Smash. It's insane how few ways Pyra has to get the Final Smash to happen. I think down air is probably the only one, honestly. I tested a lot of her moves, and I really do think that you only have like 1 or 2 moves that could ever even try and combo into the Final Smash. That being said, when you do land the Final Smash, it is pretty strong. Not that strong, surprisingly. It's not that strong, but it's strong. Then you have the opposite case. Especially with Smash Meter on, this Final Smash is really... I'm not going to use the word weak though, right? You're dealing a lot of damage here. The KO, what I'm going to say is that the KO power is really low, but you're on Mythra. In terms of characters who don't have the ability to cancel neutrals into specials, Mythra has the most combo potential into the Final Smash out of the entire cast. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm not going to go through the entire set of moves, but I'm pretty sure every single move Mythra has combos into the Final Smash. You know, you down tilt, up tilt, falling aerials, every falling aerials, you know, landing stuff. I'm pretty sure grabs all work too. Just, yeah, everything that Mythra has combos into the Final Smash. So like, you know, like in any practical situation, Mythra probably won't have a hard time, you know, getting the character closer to like whatever half of the stage they need to be at. And like when you're in like, if I'm like launching you this way, obviously the Final Smash isn't gonna be that good. But if I'm like Mythra, I'm using any of my billion moves that combo into Final Smash. That somehow hit too. I didn't even think I was gonna hit. And now all of a sudden it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think Mythra's Final Smash is better than Pyra's, because you can combo so many ways into it, and that's just more important in my opinion. It's nice to have the option of a stronger Final Smash that's harder to land. I like that that's an option, right? But I think Mythra's is just straight up better. It's just better in every way. Like, you're probably almost always going to, like, unless the opponent is at 0.5% and you know, need to get the stock sealed instantly, like maybe they'll try and go for a down air and do that. But the thing is, Pythra's Pyro's Final Smash is just not that strong anyways, right? Like, it's strong, it's stronger, but it's not like DK or Sephiroth levels of strong either. Like, let's look at the documents real quick. Pyro's Final Smash KOs at like 30% on a character with basically no combos into it, right? Here's what I'm gonna do here, okay? I think Mythra's Final Smash is a high B tier, or maybe mid B tier. It's so easy to combo into this Final Smash that even if it's on the weaker side, the character doesn't really care about that. The character can just hit you with anything, and then that basically guarantees the combo. If you're at higher percents, then the combo is almost guaranteed. So I'm thinking like, yeah, higher B tier. I'm just gonna put it right here, I guess. Sure, why not? Maybe higher. I'm gonna put it at the top because I think in more cases than not, you're gonna be at mid to high percents. And in that case, the Final Smash is strong enough. And then Mythra, or Pyra rather, I think C tier, because you have so few ways to actually land it. It's strong enough, but I'm gonna put it at the top of C tier. The fact that you can have access to both of these options, I feel like doesn't warrant them as a whole being A tier. Because even if you have options to a strong or a more consistent one, you're probably almost always going to want to use the consistent one. It's cool to have the option though. I could see someone argue that it does, but in my opinion, it's just B tier, top of B tier. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna do that right there just for reference, but I'm gonna put them away. Alright, Kazuya, let's go. Yeah, he's Kazuya, right? He's just Kazuya. True combo. You can true combo out of side taunt. I feel like it's easier to fall out of this one than you'd think, right? Like, the initializing hit has pretty good range. I know that I've seen someone fall out from the top before, but that might be more of a niche scenario. And like, let's remember, it's Kazuya, right? So you can just do that, right? You can do anything. You can do anything you want. I don't know. This is like you can't cancel normals into the Final Smash like Ken, Ryu, or Terry. So that is worth considering. But I mean, this Final Smash is strong, and this is definitely A tier at least, right? A tier because it's on Kazuya. What are the inputs for God? What's it called? Electric Wind God Fist. Yeah. Yeah, this is the skill check. I have these skill checks when I do videos sometimes too. Check. Here's the skill check. Can I get it? Can I get it? Yes, okay. I did it! Yay! I think the fact that you're on Kazuya makes it S tier at least, you know? I'm happy with that. I'm happy with Kazuya being an S tier. Okay, we are at the last character. Are we excited to be at the last character? The last character is so exciting because he's the last character. It's Sora, yeah. Okay, yeah, forward throw does combo into it for a little bit. Yeah. It's like low to mid percents forward throw will combo into it, which is pretty cool, which is pretty awesome. And it KOs without having to insta-KO. That is a thing. Like, this is technically an insta-KO, but it also has knockback, which a lot of these insta-KOs don't, so that's pretty cool. We like that. I just don't know what the overall combo potential is, you know? Because like you can't really combo neutral air into it, I don't think, because there's like a lot of wait before you can do neutral air, hit one, and then do the final smash. Maybe those, yeah. But how do the nair loops work again? How do the noops work again? Because I feel like noops would actually combo into it, right? If you could like consistently do a noop into like the final smash, that is a lot more potential than what I'm seeing right now. But I don't know. I'm not really much of a noopologist, so I have no idea what's going on there. All right, chat. Oh my god, the quality. Okay, hold on. I kind of liked it beforehand. Okay, so the thing is, you would 100% be able to combo whatever that was into Final Smash. I'm like 90% sure. I'm gonna try A tier for now. I think noops. If Sora's used noops often, and that's a thing that combos into it, then I think that's worth considering. And I think that'll be it then. And this is what the tier list looks like after all that streaming. Right now, everyone is in the same tier. I've just sort of rearranged their exact positioning, because while I was streaming, I wasn't too worried about the exact place in the tier, but this time I decided to make it a little bit more intentional. Even if it's not like exact order, it's more like clumps within the tier, but I think it's a little bit more accurate to how I feel. So you'll see some characters who are towards the bottom of a tier that are now towards the top. I just sort of decided that while going through all the editing and just trying to make my decisions a little bit more consistent with the decisions I made elsewhere, right? For example, Sora here, even if he has noob combos, I feel like his potential is more similar to the characters in B tier given the same logic, so I think I'll put him around here. And the same is true for Wario. Like, honestly, I'm not entirely sure why I put Wario in A tier in the first place when he's actually very similar to Yoshi, so I'm going to put him here as well. Additionally, even if Olimar has the potential to have a really nice 0 to death KO with, you know, the burying hitbox, I just feel like it's so unlikely for that to happen compared to the fact that you can completely dodge the attack once you don't have the bury hitbox happen. I feel like Olimar deserves to be in D tier, you know? Exactly where, I'm still kind of unsure, but you know, it's just super inconsistent. Like honestly, if that burying hitbox didn't exist at all, he'd be in F tier, right? Because then you could just technically always dodge it. But I think maybe like somewhere towards the bottom will be more consistent. And yeah, I think this is a little bit more fair, and again, more consistent with everything I had talked about beforehand. And yeah, as I keep saying, you could shift a few things here or there. I would totally understand any arguments, but for the time being, I think this is a pretty good basis for a Smash Meter tier list. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching all of that footage of me talking about all of these characters. And this is the outro now, so I guess I'll thank my patrons Rain, Soul700, Burbo, and everyone else for their amazing support. Stay casual, and I'll see y'all later.